Now, going over to the Culture Pod podcast, you have Elon vowing to defeat the woke mind virus after his son, quote unquote, died being tripped into puberty blockers. Now, I guess I should caveat, he clarifies in the video, but he's saying that his child or his son had died to him because, again, child, unbeknownst or unrealized to Elon, was put on these puberty blockers. And I'll just go ahead and I'll pull up the actual article. Now, this comes to us thanks to Colin Rugg over at X Twitter. And Colin says, quote, Justin, Elon Musk says his son is dead thanks to the woke mind virus after he was put on puberty blockers, saying he vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And it's probably one of the most viral things on the internet. And his voice is infinitely better than mine. It's only about 2 minutes long, but not too much further ado. This is an interview brought to us thanks to the Daily Wire, and they got their little logo in the bottom there looking cool.
It happened to one of my older boys, where I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier. This is before I had really any understanding of what was going on, and we had COVID going on, and so there was a lot of confusion. I was told, Xavier might commit suicide if he did.
That was a lie right from the outset.
Incredibly evil. And I agree with you that people that have been promoting this should go to prison.
That's
so I was tricked into doing this, it wasn't explained to me that puberty blockers are actually just sterilization drugs.
Yeah.
So anyway, and so I lost my son essentially. They call it dead naming for a reason.
Yeah.
All right, so the reason it's called dead naming is because your son is dead. So my son Xavier is dead, killed by the woke mind virus.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and there's lots of people in that situation now.
Right.
It's not pretty, and lots of demolished kids.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to be the final straw. All right, so
I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that. And we're making some progress.
Join the club.
Yeah.
Amen to that. That's heartbreaking to have that happen to him. Can't imagine that. Here. And it's probably one of those viral things. It got 26 million views and 210,000 likes. And yeah, this is yet another prime example, and it's of course heartbreaking, but it is an example of yet again where something that we're told, oh yeah, this isn't happening. It's just conspiracy theories. Definitely not happening. And then slowly but surely, they move the goalposts. They go, well, it's happening, but it's very, very rare. It really does. It's not, it's just a little rare. And then they go, well, it's happening a little bit. Then they say, oh yeah, so it's actually happening. Then they say, oh, this is happening and you should tolerate it. Then they say, oh, this is happening, you should accept it. And then they say, oh, this is happening, you should celebrate it. We've seen this time and time again with a myriad of cultural issues throughout the years. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's just a copy-paste of other social and cultural topics we've had throughout our lifetime. And yeah, biggest lies, one of the best documentaries on this is What is a Woman by Grant Walsh, funded and published by the Daily Wire. Because they kind of go into the whole issue of, why are they sterilizing these kids? It's disgusting. Morally, mentally vacuous, to say the least. Now, some of the top comments come down here. You got Gunther Eagleman saying, quote, Elon is on a mission, and I stand with him. The woke mind is a virus, getting 13,000 likes. Futurist says, I stand with Elon, getting 2.4 thousand likes. Gunther Eagleman says, quote, being woke is a mental illness, agree, getting 5.5 thousand likes. Colin Rugg says, I wasn't aware of how personal it is either, getting 6.5 thousand likes, which can't imagine happening. Man, that is... I can't imagine that happening to your kid like that. That is heartbreaking. And yeah, I think this definitely lit a fire inside Elon. He's going to fight to the death to repeal this cultural issue that's destroying so many lives permanently, destroying so many families. SFS84 says, I never knew this about Elon. This is incredibly personal, and I'm glad he shared his memory with us. My heart breaks for his loss. Getting 659 likes. Junita Broderick says, well, quote, you can almost feel his pain. This is so sad. These kids need to mature to make decisions on their own without the trans influencers and medical field intervening, getting 18,000 likes. Colin Rugg says the long pause at the end says it all, getting 9.4 thousand likes. Brick suit, which A+ for marketing. He does in fact wear that suit with a brick little pattern on it. And as we all know, true men always suit up, so he does look sharp. Brick suit says, quote, I didn't know this about Elon. I had assumed he hated the woke mind virus because it is obviously bad, but he lost his son. This helps explain the purchase of Twitter and so many other things. Woke mind virus effed up after the wrong kid. Now daddy's come to help. He continues saying, daddy's coming to help destroy it. Right. Got 15,000 likes. TDB says you must influence your kids before others brainwash them. Getting 5,000 likes. And yeah, don't forget this is reason number 12,958,735,423 to not send your kids to public schools. Because a lot of these teachers of public schools, not all, but many of these teachers are pushing these types of gender ideologies and trying to transition kids at schools without parents' permission or knowledge. Again, this is yet another thing where we told that was happening. It is in fact happening. California just passed a law that will allow the student to be influenced at school and identify differently, and they do not need to tell the parents. They passed a law saying it is no longer required for the parents to be known in that conversation. Which, anytime you're trying to hide information from the parents, is a big red flag. Also a big red communist flag as well. I don't think that's coincidence now that I think about it. But yeah, that's why Elon is moving X, also known as Twitter, as well as SpaceX out of California, because of that specific bill. That was the straw that broke the camel back, so to say, and Elon said that publicly. So I think it is good that more and more people are starting to realize that this is in fact happening in the real world, and the problem is becoming more and more widespread. Let's see. There's a quote from Elon saying, any parent or doctor who sterilizes a child before they are a consenting adult should go to prison for life. Getting 5.1 thousand likes, which, yeah, to call that child abuse is almost too light. That is one of the most evil things I could possibly think of. Let's see here. Do we finally find a contrarian statement? Interesting. And maybe this is a contrarian statement. SDL, interesting profile name, says conservatives are always like this, and it's SpongeBob laughing in a room, or SpongeBob's the walls, then they got the whale in the middle of the room. Got 3.1 thousand likes. Let's see here. Afi B trans flag says, reminder that despite Elon Musk's delusions, his kid is quite literally not dead, is very much alive and simply wants nothing to do with him anymore. Getting 6.3 thousand likes. We did find a contrarian statement. I had to scroll a little bit there, but it does exist. Again, life gets a little bit boring if you're in an echo chamber. And there's a reason they call it dead naming. There's a reason why pretty much every major platform on the internet will literally eliminate you if you dare to say the wrong pronouns or you dare to say someone by their previous name. Now, we also have PRAB saying it's so heartbreaking now how much... oh, wow, this is another contrarian statement. Interesting. So PRB says it's so heartbreaking how much of an awful follower he is, getting 3.5 thousand likes. Which... I think it's awful that he didn't comprehend what was going on in real time with the paperwork he was signing, and it is heartbreaking that he was deceived in that way. I don't think he's a bad follower. Granted, I don't know the guy, but based on all the information we have at hand, I don't think so. Let's see. USMC Lady Veteran says, quote, this is a very difficult subject for Elon. His biography was very intense about this in his early childhood, getting 909 likes, which... That is by Walter Isaacson. I have that on the bookshelf. I need to definitely crack that book open this year. Let's see. Livercat Media TM says he's absolutely right. We're in the middle of this. Instead of Star Wars, it says Trans Wars. As a trans flag, or the colors there, getting 423 likes. Let's see. American Papa Bear says, I had no idea. This is sad not just for Elon, but many parents out there. We must stop this woke mind virus. Getting 590 likes. Which I think eventually, that kid does not look kind of like a really anemic John Lennon, or like a starving John Lennon. This is from SM Honk. It says, pray for Xavier Musk. He was so caught up in the woke mind virus and transition that he disowned his own father for trying to help him. Xavier filed to change his name to Vivian Wilson. For a kid, you know his parents must be devastated, unquote. That got 231 likes. Yeah, Elon is definitely being more out there with his opinions, first endorsing Donald Trump, and now coming out on the, fascinatingly enough, this is a controversial thing in the United States, the woke mind virus, and especially the transition of children, which, again, wind back the clock 10 years ago, there's so many infographics explaining or showing how, conservatives and Republicans had stayed about the same, then people on the far left just ran off the cliff, and they just keep pulling more and more. I mean, 10 years ago, everyone in America, except maybe the people in San Francisco, would agree if you did this if you actually transitioned a child, you'd be sent to prison for life, at the very least. You'd be sent to the court system, I would presume, they would charge you for child abuse, and you'd be found guilty. I mean, it's insane that this has become a political issue and divided the America or the United States in about half and half. This has become a political issue. I don't think it should be. I mean, it's quite sad, and I think more and more people are waking up to this. I think they're going to start voting differently. Because again, every state is making their own decisions on how to handle these types of situations, and it is quite concerning because, again, they keep lying. They say, "Oh yeah, they're totally these puberty blockers are totally reversible." Yeah, fascinatingly enough, there's no studies on that. Fascinatingly enough, the same drug is used to neuter sexual predators. Yeah. So let's just say I'm not sure. I don't believe them when it comes to those things. And yeah, it's fascinating that this is a huge controversy in the United States. I hope in the future it isn't, but because of how divided our culture is and how it seems to be dissolving any common ground, I mean, this is another issue where I'm not sure how much common ground there is. I mean, I think most Americans don't care what you do once you're 18 plus. I think that might be some common ground, maybe. But at the same time, I'm not sure if that could really be considered common ground because people on the far left would say, oh, then it's too late. You have to start young, which, yeah, those teachers and doctors are quite scary and even more concerning as the parents. But let me know, do you think Elon will start to fund mechanisms in terms of nonprofits that are trying to combat this and get help resources out to people who don't realize the hugely detrimental negative side effects of these procedures and these drugs? Let me know in the comments. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.